Hey everybody, and welcome back. I'm Allie with the Lighthouse Journey. So I was just sitting here just about to make dinner, and I realized that this is a really special week that's coming up, and I wanted to share some things that I've been reflecting on lately. And for those of you who are unaware, we have a really beautiful and magical full moon happening this Friday, September 16th. I have been following the moon cycles since about 6 months ago, and I'm a Pisces from the horoscope, and how conveniently it was that the very first lunar eclipse in Pisces was happening on March 8th, 6 months ago. And now, 6 months later, on September 16th, it's going to be a second lunar eclipse. So my life has greatly transformed in the last few months, and in this video I wanted to discuss healing from within and making a difference in our lives. And I had a friend who called me earlier today, and it was just really great to hear the perspective of another person and how I have personally affected that person in their own life and their own spiritual journey. So it's really beautiful to know that, we are making a difference, and it doesn't need to be, 100 people, a million people or so, but making a one person's life, different and bringing their own new perspective into their life is really, really beautiful and very magical. So I wanted to reflect on my last 6 months and my own personal healing that I've been coming into, and how it has transformed me and how it's made my life very, very different. And perhaps it's something that you've been going through as well. And I can actually guarantee that a lot of people are going through these changes. A lot of healing is going in the world. And when I'm talking about healing, speaking on your eternal healing aspects. Of course, there are physical aspects that are being healed, but I'm speaking more on the soul level. What is happening right now around the world energetically is pushing a lot to the surface in many, many people. So if you are one of the people that has been transforming in the last few months, if you feel like your life is totally crumbling down, or everything is going up and great, you're one of the people who are being affected by this energy right now that is pushing everybody to the surface as far as bringing their own healing to the surface of their life. For me personally, like I said, my journey really started 6 months ago with the first lunar eclipse, and that's when I really started following the moon cycles and adjusting my energy to welcoming the new moon with new intentions and setting new intention, and closing the full moon with releasing of those intentions and setting them, into the universe. So as far as my personal healing goes, I've also done a couple ayahuasca ceremonies since then, and really started to look within as far as what is happening on the eternal aspect of my life that I need to bring more focus on. And also, as far as healing goes, I'm speaking in terms of recognizing what is not you, recognizing characteristics and behavior and emotional patterns that are happening in your life that are not you, things that are not making you feel good, things that are bringing out anger, that are bringing out anxiety, depression, any sort of emotional response that isn't made of a happy, love-based emotion. So pretty much anything in your life that triggers a response of negativity is what needs to be brought to your attention, because that's where healing needs to be addressed. So let me give you an example. With my mom and recently moving into a new home, there's been a lot of, as far as like fighting and going back and forth, bittering between, her pushing my buttons. And that's where I learned that every time she pushed a certain button that made me angry, that made me act impatient, or made me, I don't know, say something mean back, that was the point that I needed to work on in myself, because nothing really affects us on the outside. If you really are serious about doing this work, really committing to being the best version of yourself, first thing you will realize is that nothing on the outside is affecting the inside. So any sort of response that you get from other people that isn't making you happy is really something that's bothering you on the inside. So going back to my example with my mom, learning the buttons that she was pushing on me is something that I really needed to work within, is things of patience, and accepting people how they are. I couldn't change the fact that she kept on pushing these buttons, throughout our journey of doing home construction, which was really, really fun at times. But what I could control is the way I reacted. So over the course of several months, I learned slowly, and maybe not 100%, that I couldn't change what was being triggered, how she was triggering me, but what I could change is how I was being affected by those triggers. So over time, I learned to ignore what was being said, and I learned to go with the flow. Or if in situations where I knew I was being wrong, I would change my behavior. So learning to not get triggered by things that I noticed were being constantly are triggering, like my negative responses, is one thing to bring your healing attention to. And also, it's really a lot about realizing that, it's a lot of inner work that we have to do. It's a lot of times that I spend on the inside of myself just figuring out, what doesn't belong in me. What is my ego? Why is the ego driving this personality that I know isn't who I really am? Because when you realize who you truly are, and that is pure love energy, pure light, pure consciousness, you realize that the personality is really not who you are. So you try to get rid of all aspects of what is not of love, and that is what really healing is. Healing, like our darkest parts of ourselves, of things that make us insecure, or showing our vulnerability to other people, or really, I guess, putting all our fears in front of our face and dealing with them as they come, is healing work. If you're working with chakra system and you're familiar about our chakras and what they do for us, you can also start healing from those points, because I don't know if you've seen my last video on chakras or not, but from head to our root chakra, every chakra is responsible for a certain mental aspect of our being. So let's say, I'll just give an example. Let's say you are unable to love. You just can't find love in your life. Your relationships are always falling apart. So if that's the example, obviously your heart chakra is not being, working properly. It's either unbalanced or unaligned, or you just need to bring healing to your heart. But what you also need to realize, if you can't find love in your exterior life, that only is the reflection of your inner world, meaning that you're not giving love to yourself. So once again, if you think of life as everything exterior is a reflection of what's interior, then really you realize what is being not provided within. So if you can't find love on the inside for yourself, you can't love yourself, then you can't really attract love from the exterior world. Do you know what I mean? Or let's say, you have a lot of people that are lying to you all the time. People are being deceitful. Their communication is always false. So take a look in your throat chakra, your communication center, your expression center. Perhaps you're lying to yourself. Perhaps the people that you're hanging out with are not your real friends. They're not supposed to be in your circle. So that's why you're lying to yourself, because you know that that's not who you're supposed to be around. So that's why in reflection, the people are constantly lying to you in regards to, your relationship, because it's a reflection within. So I'm not going to go over all the chakras, but every chakra really does reflect your own view. My own example, and this is something that I recently discovered in my new relationship with my new boyfriend, is apparently I have self-esteem issues. I could have never thought that, because in my life I was always, confident, and just, I was known who I am. I was always sure of who I am, what I wanted, what I needed. But now, being in this new relationship, I'm realizing that, I'm not all that, that there is a lot of weakness in my life. There is a lot of self-esteem that is coming out from my solar plexus, my solar plus this my circle of expression and, knowing who I am and being vulnerable and showing who I am. So right now, I'm learning to heal that aspect of myself as, my attention was brought to the fact that healing is needed in that area. So right now, it's a really, really beautiful time, really powerful time in our experience as human beings on earth to pay attention to what needs to be healed. And if your karma, is a lot and you have a lot of issues with a lot of aspects in your life, don't be discouraged. Right now is the time to put all that behind you and to really step forward, to step into the light and allow for the healing to take place. If you're struggling with what is going on, what you need healing with, please, ask for help. There's so many beautiful people in the world who are open to help, and I am one of them. Please come to me, ask for questions. I will offer you my advice as far as my awareness goes, but, the work really is you. You are the one who is in charge of making the step to doing this work, and don't let your ego get in the way. Don't let your ego say that you're perfect and you don't need healing and you're just here having fun. Because the truth is, you can have so much more fun when you know who you are, when you accept the light within and you accept that, part of being human is being not perfect. You would not be here if you were perfect. None of us would. This whole life of human experience is about experiencing our limited selves, our imperfections, learning that, there is imperfection in the world, but imperfection could be beautiful and is beautiful, and it's all part of the divine plan of human experience. So as the full moon is approaching us on Friday, it's a really, really magical time. And I do my own little rituals every season, every new moon and every full moon. And one of the rituals that I recommend for all of my friends and family to do during the new moon is to write down your intentions. But if you haven't done that yet, it's not too late. The full moon is happening this Friday. So if you're ready to let go, and the energy of the new moon is really great for letting go, for embracing the new, for setting intentions for whatever else that you are seeking, whatever you feel like is in need of embracing, is a good time for that. So I recommend taking a little piece of paper and writing down your intentions. Let's say you want to let go of things. So you make a list and you write, I want to let go of this, this, and that. Or you want to do a positive list and you want to say, I want to welcome into my life more love, more kindness, more compassion. So you make the list of things that you want to get rid of things that you want to welcome. And on the night of the full moon, you burn the first list of the things that you want to let go. And the most important thing here is to set your intention, because the energy of the moon is already here. It's already supporting all of us. It's just a matter of catching the wave of attuning yourself to the energy of the moon. And you attune yourself to that energy by simply stating your intention. So with intention, you state, I would like to connect to this energy of the moon. And the moon has a really, really powerful energy for all of this to really, really take into the action and, send that out into the universe and just kind of start manifesting everything. And you can start doing that by burning the first piece of paper and with intention of letting go and releasing and flushing it down the toilet paper once you burn the ashes. And with this second piece of paper, with the intentions that you do want to accomplish and welcome into your life, you once again connect to the energy of the moon. You express your desires, things that you would like to achieve, and you burn the paper, but with the things that you want to achieve, you send it out into the universe. So you either spread the ashes, in the garden, or, in the, down your balcony, wherever you have access to nature, just send the ashes out with intention of, letting it go and letting universe provide for you to the best of, the needs that are necessary for you right now in your journey. So it's a lot of great energy happening right now, and I wanted to share this because it's been so beautiful, so magical, a lot of work, a lot of things coming to the surface. And I know I'm not the only one who's going through this. I know there's many of you guys, and I'm so excited to just watch our generation take these huge steps into raising a consciousness, raising the vibration of the whole universe. Together we are doing this one day at a time, and we're so good at that. So just keep doing what you guys are doing, commit to yourself, commit to this work, and be the lighthouse. Be the lighthouse for yourself and for others, because people that you're going to affect are going to be different people that I'm going to affect, and every one of us is making a difference in this time right now. So it's getting really dark here. I'm going to wrap it up. So thank you so much again for joining me. As always, it's such an honor sharing my journey with everyone, and I hope one of you at least will find this message helpful and find something encouraging to help you keep going forward, and never stop believing in yourself, because you're light, and I'm here to constantly remind you of that. So thank you so much, guys. Have a wonderful time. I will be back probably next week after the full moon and share some wonderful stories of what's going on and what was happening this weekend. So thank you guys so much. Have a good one. Bye.